Hello and welcome to another episode of our ongoing exhaustive series where we are ranking all of the Super Mario platforming games. That's right. I'm your host, Sick Jake, with Press Me to Cancel. And you ever get the impression you recorded something, let it sit for 2 to 3 weeks, and then when you went to edit it, you realize the audio was messed up and you have to do it all over again? Yeah, me neither. Where's my fucking list? That's not a list. Where is it? There it is. Our number one game so far in our extensive series. This is episode 2. Episode 1, it was Super Mario Land for the Nintendo Game Boy. A great game. A fun game. Is it the best that Mario has to offer? Who could say? Well, I'm going to. We're going to continue with the Jeff Gerstmann School of Science. Thank you, Jeff, for everything you do. Don't mean to rip off your idea, but I'm kind of ripping off your idea. Anyway, we're going to play Mario 64 next. Super Mario 64 is the first one, or the second game we're going to play. And I want you to look at his big old head right now. Look at that noggin. Look how detailed that is. Look at the shading, the lighting. He's falling asleep. There we go. There's a button. Look at that. Keep looking at it. We're going to hit start yet again. Thanks, Nintendo. We're going to pretend that I have not played this game 2 other times in the past. No. Oh my God, her face. What did Peach happen to Peach's face? This game might be ugly. Nintendo 64 might be... Is the N64 bad? No, it's not bad. It's just ugly. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I didn't necessarily grow up with this machine. I mean, my first console was the Atari, then I moved on to the NES, and I have nostalgia for that. But I did own an N64 when I was a teenager, and I did play this. This is kind of ugly. Before we get into it, yes, before you ask, I am going to rank a Nintendo 64 game with a Game Boy game, and later a NES and an arcade, and all the consoles, even Virtual Boy, for the hell of it. Why not? As a treat. Yes, but it's because we're not ranking these games for like technical achievement or graphical power. It's more like a style thing, right? And I'm a big supporter of pixel art. I've always loved pixel art. Personally, I like 16-bit the most, but I can appreciate what was done in the Game Boy sprite-wise. And even with the 3D entries like Mario 64. When I look at it, I'm not looking at it... I'm not hating on the style because it's on the N64. No. You know, I understand what the system was capable of on the N64. I get it. It's more just like the style itself. Does that make sense? It's going to have to make sense because that's what we're going to do. So when I'm hating on this game, and I hate on it a fair bit, it's not because I'm blaming the platform. I'm focusing on the game and how the game presents itself. Hopefully that makes sense. So much text. Oh my God, Mario 64. So I will say I did beat this game last month. last fucking month. I beat this game last month, and I did 70 stars. I'm not a sicko to do 120. Although I have done the 120 in the past. I think I was like 14 when I did that. I did do it 70 stars because, you know what, over the years, this has been one of the games that I've spun up occasionally just to, spend an hour, just, mess around with a few stars, a couple stages. I never go very deep when I play Mario 64 in the last 20 years. Usually I get to a certain icy slide, which we will see today, and I usually rage quit. It's usually what happens. And there's a number of reasons why that is, but it's hard for me to go back to this game. But I am glad I went back to it last month, and I got it. I got credits, I beat it, I went through. I didn't do every star, didn't do every stage. Mother son of a bitch. I didn't do everything, but I did enough. I saw the sights, and I'm glad I did, because there was a lot about this game I had forgot even existed. I think the biggest thing here is there's 15 courses in this game, which is more than I remember. But I also love how this is a game where you don't have to even go into all those courses. You can skip, or not even find all the courses. I mean, of course, as kids, when we played this game, we found everything. We had to. But that was a surprising thing, realizing that I could easily miss a course. Like, there's no way in 2026 a Mario game puts in that many worlds, some which are completely hidden that you don't need to go to at all. That doesn't happen. He talks a lot, huh? you see my controller? Oh yes, the controller. The controller of the week. The controller of the week is the 8BitDo 3D controller. I guess they don't want to use the word Nintendo, but clearly from the coloring, it's style after the N64. And that's another one I'm glad I picked up. Because try to play an emulated version of N64 with, say, an Xbox controller or a PS5 controller, you're in for a bad time. There is something about the N64 controller that is just wholly necessary. And I know I'm not playing on it exactly on the N64 controller. It's 3 times, right? But the 8BitDo does a few things that is more like a hybrid between the classic 3-prong and modern design of controllers. The one thing is it's got this octagonal gate. I'm saying things words. It's been a long day. That's actually pretty important, and the feel is there. It's not as sensitive as an Xbox controller is. Where's the star? But the main thing it's got is it's got the 4 C buttons. Obviously, modern controllers, 2 analog sticks. Most games these days, the right analog stick is your camera control. We didn't have that in '96. Oh no. And for games like Mario 64, trying to use an emulated analog stick for the camera controls, it's just not going to work. It doesn't work as well as it feels like it should. And that's my biggest complaint about Mario 64. Of the last few years, I've got back to it, is controls suck. Well, not the character control. Like, Mario moves awesome. Like, yeah, let's rumble. Mario plays great. Like, the running, the crawling, the triple jump right here. There's the triple jump. You got a backflip. I did a really bad job with that. And then, of course, you got the slide and long jump. Like, all these moves feel really great when I do them properly. It's the camera that sucks. Like, even now, I feel like it's a struggle to get the camera to go where I want it to. Like, first off, I feel like the controls I think they're backwards compared to the analog stick. Don't hurt me. Thank you. But I just find the camera control to be a fair bit clunky. Am I even going to win this race? Let's see if we can. Jake, shut up and play for a minute here. I'm going to try and do this. Usually I've won by now. How far ahead is he? He's not that far ahead. No, asshole. Ground pound. That's the other move you can do. Everybody loves a ground pound. God, I've never seen him jump before. That's right. Eat my dust. Can we cheat a little bit? Dare we cheat a little bit here? Oh, yeah. There we go. Can't believe I actually beat that. The camera control is lame. I don't like the camera control in this. And like, if you hit R button, you can zoom in to the Mario mode, right? Which is supposed to fall behind you, but it still feels like it's a little better. Yeah, give me that star. Yeah, I just do not like the camera control. I've never liked the camera control in Mario 64, and that's my biggest knock against it over the years. But movement feels great. Like, really, and what I like about Mario 64 is the ground pound, the triple jump, the long jump, and the wall jump. These are all moves that they didn't originate in Mario 64. I think that kind of falls to... Should we do one more? Let's do one more. I think that falls to Donkey Kong in the Game Boy, the 94 game specifically. That one had a whole suite of moves, but it was 2D. But this is the first 3D Mario, and the fact that they have all these moves right from the get-go is pretty iconic. And these are the same set of moves that we see in a lot of future 3D Mario games. There's an impact there. There's a legacy there. I think the only thing that's like looking at Mario Odyssey, what's different? I think, yeah, you punch in this game or you can drop kick. Whereas in Mario Odyssey, you throw the stupid hat. What's going here? Oh, no. I gotta talk to the pink guys. But yeah, like even in Mario Odyssey, which is the most recent 3D game, right? I think. Well, maybe not. Anyway, in Mario Odyssey, you throw a hat, but you have the triple jump, you have wall jump, all that good stuff. So there's the impact, the influence is there. And I dig that. I think that's pretty cool. Open the cannon, please. Thank you. But I don't know. Yeah, if you jump in the cannon, get in there. And if you're trying to play this on a modern controller, normally aiming the cannon is like just a bad time. But with this This controller is really pretty good. Like, it's definitely not as sensitive. It definitely feels like the original N64 analog stick. Obviously, if you're going to play this, the best way to play it is with the Nintendo 64 controller. However you want to do that. But I love this controller. This is like a nice compromise between old and new. I'm glad I picked it up. It was like $30. Let's see if we can do this the first time. Maybe. Maybe. Nope. Nope. What's another star we can get that's easy? See, I hate pushing the buttons for this. I'm not going to get the red coins. So was it? There's... Let me show you there. There's 6 stars every 15 courses, 6 stars, and there's a 7th star you can get if you get 100 coins. And then every course has... Let's see, damn thing. Look at the camera, dude. Like, there we go. Go away. You're free. You're free to get more polygons. The every world has a red coin star find, 8 coins, get a star, and then there's the hidden get 100 coins, you get a star. And that's how you get the 120 stars to 100% the game. And I have no patience to get all the coins. But like getting the rest of the stars, it's doable. Oh, now we can go a different stage. I love how in the beginning of this game, the 3 courses that are most accessible to you are just standard green hills, and then a water level, because everybody loves underwater stages, and a nice level, which is, you know, just fantastic. All the shitty tropes in gaming right at your fingertips, right in the first 30 minutes of gameplay. Awesome. Just awesome. Let's go here. Oh, so here's the first slide thing. Can I zoom out? You can kind of see it. My other gripe with this game is the stages are... They're not small, but they feel a little claustrophobic, and it's always a hill or a mountain or maybe a deep crater, but it's always there's a verticality to the stages that I don't care for. And I know it's hard because up to this point you're taking classic 2D Mario and trying to turn that into take that and transpose it into a 3D world. It's not the easiest thing to kind of visualize. So I can see why they did some of this. But I don't like how everything is a bloody hill in this game. Not every stage, but it does feel like a good amount of them are stages, are hills, mountains, or fucking pits. I hate the sliding. I hate the sliding. It's alright. It's okay. We can do this. We've done this before. So the verticality is kind of weird. I mean, otherwise stuff looks like it needs to. And it is the N64. Like, it's the billboarding textures on the trees. So, I mean, they're not true 3D. That's fine. It's a weirdly shaped chimney, but whatever. It's Mario. A penguin is a penguin. I can see what things are. And like Mario himself, when you look at Mario, reasonably looks okay. Like the pieces are there. But where I don't like is some of the enemy design. The Goombas feel a little bit too ball shaped, I guess. Talking and chewing gum at the same time is not a good plan here. Oh, damn. Yeah, I don't like the shape of the Goombas. Coopers are okay, but a lot of stuff just low poly. And again, I know it's N64, it's going to be low poly. I understand that. But those pipes, like when you see the pipes, they don't look like pipes from the 16-bit Mario. Does that make sense? They don't look like they're the 2D counterpoints. What am I waiting for? There's no penguin here, Jake. It's like I played this game so much already. Let's grab this one, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do the fucking race. Yeah, ice physics. Real great first impression. It's awesome. I do like the special effect of the paintings when you jump into them. That's pretty cool. Oh, I almost had 10 points there. Little Penguin lost. Well, we're not going to do that one. We'll try that afterwards. Let's see if we can do this race. I swear, this penguin's my nemesis. Yes, sir. Let's race. No, come on now. Feels like no matter how well you do in the beginning, he always catches up on you. He gets a burst of speed. And he'll knock you off, too. get it. Oh, shit. Okay. God, where were you last month? I spent like an hour last month trying to do this. Give me your goddamn star, you son of a bitch. Come on. I broke your record. That's right. Give me that star. But he looks like a penguin. It's fine, right? The graphics are okay. It's fine. Camera can piss me off. Why I keep saying, going back to, well, it's ugly, is I'm playing this on the Mr. FPGA, which is a hardware emulating device. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot for this series. It's a great way to play retro games. Little Penguin Lost. And the N64 is emulated very well by the MiSTer in this core, but it doesn't do anything extra. It tries to give it to you straight. And it's hard because this is a game where some consoles, some systems really took advantage of CRT TVs, right? They used those scan lines to hide things. It was not a failing. They just used the format that people were playing these games on. I mean, we didn't know any better. They didn't have anything else. So, like, you know, games like when you compare the Sega Genesis with Super Nintendo. In this decade, a lot of people say the Super Nintendo looks better. And, like, if you're playing on a modern display, an LCD, OLED, LED, whatever, yeah, sure. But that's because when those systems were on CRT TVs, the Genesis especially used dithering and scan lines to hide it and to blend the colors, right? Like, the Genesis was awesome for the dithering. But you wouldn't know if you were to compare the SNES Earthworm Jim. This is my favorite comparison. Earthworm Jim on the SNES and on the Genesis side by side on CRT TVs. You're probably not going to find an issue between the two graphically, and you'd probably find the Genesis version superior because it runs faster, it runs more smoother. I also think it sounds better, but whatever. But if you're to play those same games, SNES and Genesis side by side on LCD screens or modern TVs, yeah. You see the dithering on the Genesis. It does not look as good as the SNES. The SNES has more colors, and it shows. It's not so different from the N64. The N64 is not an HD thing. This is still standard def TVs. And Mario 64 just looks better with the low res and the jaggy lines. It is less noticeable on a CRT TV. In fact, I would say you probably don't notice it on a CRT. And that, I think, is the difference. And where it becomes really noticeable for me is I've played this game recently, not on my MiSTer, but on the Nintendo Switch. That's where I've been playing it. That's where you usually spin it up. My kids like to mess around with the old Mario games. Or I force them to play the old Mario games. Can instill with them a healthy conscience of where gaming came from. Anyway, they'll play on the Switch, the Nintendo Switch Online virtual console thing. And there's a bunch of games there, and it's fine. And, they'll play Super Mario, they'll play the original Mario Brothers, they'll play the Game Boy one there. When they go to play N64 Mario, it looks pretty good on Nintendo Switch. And at first glance, it feels the same, it looks the same, but the lines are not this jaggy. So when I spun up on the MiSTer, I thought I did something wrong. I thought I set up something wrong. I was trying to figure it out. So then I tried using another emulator called BizHawk. And RetroArch is the same thing on my computer, on my PC. And it looks the same as the MiSTer. Jaggy lines, and it does not look as pretty as the Nintendo Switch. And that's when I realized, I started digging through the settings in BizHawk. There's an option to increase the resolution, upscale. So instead of, 320 by whatever, you can do 680p or higher. Not 680, but you can double the res or triple the res on a PC. And that's when I realized that's what Nintendo does for the Nintendo Switch Online. Their version of Mario 64, say what you want about the emulation, but they are up-resing the display. And that's fine. It just, I think of the Nintendo Switch Online, the whole Virtual Console as a concept, to me it's kind of like game preservation, right? Preserving those games so, future generations can play these games. I mean, nobody's going to own a Super Nintendo ever again, or an N64 likely ever again. I mean, obviously you have your enthusiast sickos like us, right? But most people don't. Here's where we gotta sneak up really quietly. Boom. So, yeah, so game preservation is important. And it's weird that Nintendo is up-resing Nintendo 64 games. It's like Nintendo even thinks that this thing is ugly. That's what it feels like. And it's not the first time, too. Like, oh, motherfucker. God damn it. Come on. Try one more time. That camera again. It's not the first time. They did release the, for the few people who could buy it, a time-limited... Oh, he's back. Why has he come back? A time-limit exclusive, the Super Mario 3D All-Stars game. Oh, I fucked that one up, didn't I? And that was a compilation of Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and the first Super Mario Galaxy game. The 3-pack. And then I think they landed on the store for like a year, and then they got rid of it. It's a shame. Anyway, it was not advertised as a remaster per se. But they did increase the resolution, and Mario 64 on that looks similar to what it does on the Switch Virtual Console. So yeah, Nintendo's definitely playing around with. Maybe if I do the Mario camera, Mario Cam. Let's try. And we're just gonna casually saunter across this board. But yeah, if you play this at the original resolution, it does not look pretty. So if you are playing Mario 64 in 2026. You're probably going to emulate it, so play it on the Switch. Or if you're going to play it on a software emulator on a PC, just double the resolution. It'll make it look better. Like the low res textures is fine. Like Buddy's face here is blurry. Who cares? Oh yeah, we got some skills. Let's kill this boss. But yeah, something about the jagged lines is off-putting. So it's not ugly, but it's ugly. Does that make sense? I don't know. So it's like style-wise. I don't know. Are you gonna fall now? Style-wise, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna judge it for the jaggy lines, the blurry textures. That's just part of the system. It's fine. They got squished. Mario looks fine. Like I'm not a huge fan of these enemies and these bosses. I find there's like a lack of enemies overall. You really like Goomba, Koopa, bullets, fish. Like I feel like there's not as many enemies as there could be. That's what it feels like. And the overall design of the worlds themselves, not a fan. Like the verticality is, I get why they do it, but something about the overall design doesn't feel as great. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like. I hate to keep saying Odyssey, but I really like Odyssey. All of Odyssey's worlds feel very in theme. They feel like worlds. They don't feel like terrariums. If that makes more sense. Let's get away from this world. I'm not. I guess we should try and do an underwater star. Let's do an underwater stage. Open that door. So I guess in terms of structure, you fight Bowser 3 times. We're going to do the Bowser the first fight. You need 10 stars to do it, though. So actually, I might have to do a few. Well, let's see what we can get. God, I hate underwater stages. The water looks fine. It's N64 water. But the swimming is awful. Like you mash the button in rhythm and you go. Or if you hold the button, you can kick. But that's a fast way to run out of air. So you're realistically going to be doing the time swimming strokes. I do think it's interesting that they tie your breath to your health meter. I don't know if it's good or bad, but when you get coins, you replenish your health. So you're not facing the Sonic the Hedgehog problem of water bubbles and running out of air that way. So at least there's that. But the controls underwater is not good. The other star you get here is you have to like dangle in front of an eel underwater until he comes out and escapes. But to kind of keep around that area and stay still and avoid being eaten is just bad time. The blue coins. Yeah, so there's a Goomba. They look okay, I guess. Just try not to judge it because it's N64. I try and take it for what it is, but not the greatest. Well, this is the deadly game of Simon. one. That's two. Could it be so easy? No, it is not. Okay. Well, at least we got a half here. One, two. There's another one of these that is underwater, and that one's needlessly frustrating. There's our star. What else is interesting about this? I do like the castle. The castle is cool. It's fairly large to explore it. Stuff changes over time. Now we can do... Oh, I only need 8 to do Bowser. Let's go do Bowser. Let's go see that guy. I do like some of the castle changes over time. For example, right here in the front, once you have enough stars, this lights up. And then it takes you to basically this game's version of the Switch Palaces, where you get the red power up, the red hat, the flying cap. Which I guess that's the thing in terms of power ups. Mario would not be Mario without power ups. So for this one, obviously there's no much to make you bigger, but you have 3 hats. The first hat is the wind cap, which you do a triple jump and you awkwardly fly around the map. If you don't have the Switch Palaces or the Switch's nails, then they show up like that. But I mean, red is pretty much the hallmark power-ups on the box. What that is for. There's a few stages that require the wing cap to fly around, but the controls are awful. Flying does not feel good in this game at all. It's not as awkward as, say, Super Mario on SNES. Actually, no, I think that's easier. There's a 1-up here. I'm going to try and get the 1-ups because I'll probably die at Bowser. Because this game is not easy. This game is actually pretty tough in spots. And you do game over. Good. So red hat, that's 1 power. Basically lets you fly. There is the green hat, which makes you all metallic. And it's the power of sinking into the water. And you don't drown. You stop breathing. So there's a few areas where there's gas, poisonous gas. If you wear the Metal Mario hat, you can breathe. And then the other part is underwater stages, you sink to the bottom. So there's a few things that way. Well, he just fell off. And then the last one is the blue hat. That basically makes you particles, Particle Mario, Particle Man. That's the thing, right? And all that lets you do is go through chain link fences. That is Super Mario's power. Wear the blue hat, go through a chain link fence. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, see, here's the pipe. Like it's barely a pipe. I know they shade it with the texture, but it's not even... It looks stupid. And then Bowser... I mean, it looks like Bowser, but the proportions look a little bit off. Like, maybe the scale makes sense. But I don't know. Oop, missed him. Well, I'm going to run in circles for 5 minutes. Yeah, so 3 hats. Red hat is fine. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can do this in the first try. I only have to do this once. Maybe? Well, damn. Again, where was this skill 30 days ago? So each Bowser encounter, it gets harder, and you need to do it more times. I think the second one, he starts charging at you, and then the last one, parts of the floor fall away. It's the last boss of the Bowser battle is actually tough to do. I struggled at all of these. And of course, if you go back in there and get the coins, you can get another star. Anyway. Nobody cares. But in terms of power-ups, I feel like the blue cap and the red and the green cap, the Metal Mario and the Particle Mario, only exist to show off like the graphical tricks of the N64. That's what it feels like they're for. They don't really feel like real power-ups. All right, the key does not fit, of course, into the basement. Like in terms of power-ups for Mario, they're kind of lame. They're not really great. So this hallway here is cool. It's empty right now. And you go out here, and there's like a nice little garden. It's neat. Right? Cool. Whatever. But later on, as you get more stars, boos infest this little area, this courtyard. And actually in this courtyard, when the boos are present, you can actually find a ghost house inside of one of the ghosts. That's cool. I like how the castle changes over time. There's secrets in the castle. Like, it's well designed. Open this key. Like, there's one down here, too. If we go here. Like, there's a gold rabbit down here that you can catch. But you have to get a certain number of stars first before it shows up. There's Toad. Where is it? Here. The fire level. We'll come back there in a second. Right? There's a stage there. I mean, as a kid, would you find that? Probably, because as a kid, you're probably bumping into everything. But that's a hidden stage. And there's a few like that. There's another one that's late in the game, actually, that does the same thing, a false wall. And it's a whole course. 6 stars right here. And you could totally miss it. You totally don't have to do it at all. That is pretty interesting to me. I like the guts of a game to say, we're going to make levels and that you may not even know they're there. Although, in terms of stages, this is not a fun one. Oh, he's gonna hit me? No, it's not. Yeah, the quicksand is very much death. Wait for it to come back, right? And like, this is a stage where when you have the wing cap, you're supposed to come back and fly around the pyramid several times. It's gonna squish me. It squished and landed on these pillars, and just flying in this whole stage was really cumbersome, really awkward. Did not like it. Are you gonna talk to me? Not that I want to use the cans on the stage, but you know, they're there. So you see the pokey, not true 3D, it's the billboard effect with the textures, but it's fine. But you mostly ignore it anyway. But like, here's a stage where on the surface it's not a mountain, surprise, surprise. But if we can get over there safely, some stages have a sub-stage, which is deep. There's another fucking... Why is there even a tornado here? Why? Just so bad. Anyway, you can go inside. It's not going to show me zoom up, but it's... Zoom in here. Oh, I can't see a whole lot there. Hold on a second. Yeah, there's like an inside to the pyramid. That's pretty interesting. That's neat. I like this. And like, there's another way to get in here through the top of the pyramid. It takes some work I will be able to do here today, but you do that and it unlocks the boss. And it's a boss we fight 2 giant hands. It's neat. I went the wrong way. Take the one up though. Yes, I will. I don't know. I'm glad I played this. I beat it again 30 years after, but it is not a Mario game that I want to go back to that often. Like, there's some games like Mario Brothers 3. I'll spin that up all the damn time. The original Super Mario Brothers on the NES. I'll spin that up all the time to play through it. It's a 5-minute game. Who cares? But there's just... This is one of the longer Mario games. There's a lot to it. And just something about the look of it just doesn't do it for me. Do I have to hand over hand on this thing? No, I don't. I'm just walking around. What else is... Oh, music. Music is fine. It's Mario music. It's fine. I'm never gonna say Mario music is bad. Koji Kondo doesn't do bad music, but nothing's very memorable here. I don't think, really. No, I don't think so. Like the race music. You son of a bitch. No. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Let's look at a different stage. Let's look at lava. Everybody loves lava stages, right? Let's do that. Boil the big bully. So this is another one. It's more like an open concept, flat, but you can go inside the volcano. Let's see if we can get inside the volcano. Let's see what that looks like. Just avoid these guys. All right, here we go. Yeah, so I mean, this is cool. Like, this is neat. You going inside a different area, sub area, and if you die, you start inside here, which is a good touch. But like, here's a section where I feel like the camera's frustrating. Like, it doesn't go all the way around. You have to kind of go backwards. So yeah, if I ever said in the past the controls suck, I was wrong. It's the camera that sucks. I do not like the camera control. But again, this is like one of the first 3D platforming games. I think Croc was the first one. There we go. And they're still trying to figure out camera controls. They're still trying to figure out what to do with this thing. This part sucks. You can't get a good angle at all. Like of what you want to do. Turn around. No, stop. Stop. This part feels awful. And like you fall, that's it. Gosh. I should have fallen. I should have fallen. Yeah, it's the camera control specifically that I don't like. What else is there? And I do like how you can do the stars in any order if you want, for the most part. Not all the time, but you don't necessarily have to do them in order. It gives you a sense of discovery. In fact, that's one of the complaints I think folks have against Mario Odyssey is there's hundreds of moons in Odyssey. And a lot of them are fairly easy. Like you trip over a dog, you get a moon. Whereas in this game, it's 6 stars in each world. They usually require something to do. Like it's a little more. They're a little more interactive to find. Why did it come back in here? It should not have come back in here. That's stupid. I'm supposed to do the bully. Ghost? No ghost. Yeah, a lengthy game. It took me quite a bit to get through this. 70 stars anyway. 70 stars. But like there's 2 ice worlds that were different. There was one world where there's 3 entrances into the painting. If you went to the one, it was a small version of the world. You went to the other one, it was gigantic. That was pretty cool. And like the enemies were different sizes. It reminds me of World 4 in Mario Bros. 3 with the different size doors. Okay, so this way. We're going this way. Oh yeah, eyeballs. That's how you do it, right? Yeah, there we go. And there's like warps. There's hidden stuff. There's neat stuff. Oh, it's the cap. We don't have that. We don't have the cap. I don't think we're gonna get it. I remember like in this part here, the sliding. Oop. Okay. All right. Okay. The sliding puzzle to gain the coins. That was pretty fun. I'm not gonna get them all right now. I want to show this bully guy. Yeah, it's. I don't like. Is there such a thing as a bad Mario game? I don't know. I mean, that's why we're doing this. You son of a bitch. Like. Oh, come on, move. Come on. There we go. You just get in the rhythm, and you're good. Anyway, that is Mario 64. Let's rank this son of a bitch. Well, we have quite the long list of Super Mario platforming games, guys. We have Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, and now we have Super Mario 64. So, again, technical achievement, it's not a factor here. Obviously, the Nintendo 64 games look better than the Nintendo Game Boy. I'm not going to make that dumb argument that it's not. But style is a thing. And style doesn't matter about technical achievement. Use what you got and what can you do with it to make it look cool. The Game Boy will always surprise me with how, like, the audio in the Game Boy, I love. I still can't believe how much great audio comes out of Game Boy games. That system is pushed to the limit on sound. In terms of pixel work or pixel art, yes, there's like 6 colors: green spinach, and yellow mustard. That's all it's got. At least the one I had back in the day. But what games can do with those pixels and those limited color palette can be pretty cool. Now, that said, Super Mario Land, the first Mario on the Game Boy, it's very early title on the Game Boy. There's definitely better looking games in the Game Boy. Mario Land, as much as I like it, and I appreciate what they did with the limited resolution and colors, it's not the greatest looking Mario game. So, style-wise, Mario 64 is definitely better. In terms of like course design, level design, I like Mario Land. I like how it has vehicle levels and, stuff that we don't even really see that in games these days for Mario, right? Like there's a spaceship level, kind of plane levels, I guess, submarine levels, plane levels, whatever. We don't really see that in other Mario games. Even Mario 64, there's no vehicles. I mean, you can ride a shell for one section, but it's mostly sliding down, tubes. But there's 15 courses or 15 worlds in Mario 64. There's like 4 stages in Mario Land. Mario Land you can beat in 20 minutes. I mean, I think I did that in the last episode. It's very short. There's more to explore, more to do, more to play, more bang for your buck. The world is more interesting, especially the castle. I mean, the castle itself is almost a stage. Like there's a lot of secrets in the castle. I can't show them all on this episode. But there's a lot there in the castle that's interesting. There's nothing like that in Mario Land. Mario Land is a very basic, not bare bones, but it's a very basic Mario game. So it's totally, I think that goes to N64 as well. Music, again, Mario 64, Mario Land. Mario 64 music is not bad. It's fine. But there's nothing that is memorable to me. There's nothing that hits that nostalgia notes with me. Whereas Mario Land, some of the tracks are actually pretty interesting. I actually dig... there's the Asian themed world with the bouncing ghosts. I like the soundtrack for that stage quite a bit. I like the final boss music. That's pretty interesting. Or the boss music in general is pretty good. It's a bit different in Mario 64. So, I mean, music goes to Game Boy. But, I mean, like, in terms of which is the better game, I mean, as much as I would like to kind of meme and say that the Game Boy game is better than the Nintendo 64 game, I'm not going to do that. Obviously, Mario 64 is the better game. So that is our new current number 1 in our huge lengthy list. It is Mario 64 episode 2. Look, it's in my clipboard already. It's almost like I've done this before. Shocker. I swear to God, if this happens again, I'm going to stream these things instead. It's less likely to make mistakes. Anyway, Super Mario 64 is our new number 1 Mario platforming game. Number 2 is Super Mario Land. Both are great games. I think I'm still trying to figure out the format. Do I keep doing 1 game per episode? Does it make sense to do that? Maybe. But then I think I might do a Chuck E. Cheese special. There's a pair of arcade Mario games that are very short, and maybe I just do them in an episode. I've decided that when it comes to some games like Donkey Kong and the original Mario Brothers, that's the single screen game, I'll do the arcade ones in an episode, but I'm going to save the ports for later on. I might just do a really long episode and call it ports and just do all the shitty ports nobody's going to want to watch. I'll do it all at once. Because I'm going to play them. I'm going to play Mario Brothers on the Atari 2600. I'm going to play Donkey Kong on the Coleco. I'm going to play Donkey Kong on whatever bullshit PC ports I can find. I'm going to play all those. We're going to rank them. But I don't want to rank all the Donkey Kong ports at the same time I do Donkey Kong. It's going to be kind of weird. So I'm going to save the ports for when we have a larger list, I think, at play. Some of the ports are definitely better than others. Some of the ports do better than the originals that they're porting. So there is that factor, but I don't want to do it at the same time. So we're going to build a list first. We're going to play the foundational games first and kind of get that out of the way. And then we'll get to the ports, and we'll do that. Anyway, if you like this, let me know. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you enjoy these kind of things. Is it too long, too short? You want more gameplay? You want less? I can spend 5 minutes talking about Mario 64. It's fine. That's what you want. Let me know. Otherwise, if you enjoy podcasts, be sure to check out the Press B to Cancel podcast Fridays here live on YouTube at 9 Eastern. Or you can check us out on Twitch, same time when we do it live. Otherwise, audio episodes on the following Monday. But until next time, have a good night.